Okay, the machine is back up. Maximize the window, login. Now we need to create the zone. Go to the DNS manager and create the new zone on this machine. Right click on the reverse lookup zones, create new zone, click next. Go here and select the primary zone, and to all DNS servers in this domain, that is fine. Click next. Yes, IPv4, not IPv6. Next, should be 192.168.1. That's our zone. Select whatever the default value. Allow only secure dynamic updates, that is fine. Click next and finish. Now let us go to the forward lookup zone, and we need to create the host, that the two host missions, two host entries for the two nodes. This will be node 1. Okay, the IP address for the node 1 is 192.168.1.111. Okay, select the PTR record. Similarly, add node 2. Okay, we are done creating the two nodes here. Okay, so if you go and take a look at this, it added the PTRs here. Okay, now we need to go and create the cluster admin. We can make this as a cluster admin, or we can create a new user and use that user on all the machines to cluster the computers. I'll go here, Active Directory, create a new user. Cluster admin. Okay, create the user. Here is the user that I created, cluster admin. I will use that cluster admin to log in on node 1, node 2. Now we need to add this user into cluster administrator. On this, okay, let's go to the locations. Sorry, the domain admins. We need to add this to the domain admins. Okay, we made the user CLU-ADM as a domain administrator. Okay, now we need to join the node 1 and node 2 to the domain. So let us go to the node 1 first, add that computer to the domain. So right click on the computer, click properties, here click change settings, instead of work group select the domain, it will be meta manager. Okay, so I need to use cluster admin account to add this computer to the domain. Okay, the reason is we need to set the IP address, static IP address, that we didn't do. So we need to go to the network, click network and sharing center, click manage network connections. Here this is a public IP and this is private IP network. So right click on the public IP adapter, click properties for the TCP IP, set the static IP for this node 1, 192.168.1.111, the default gateway, which will be the router IP address, and DNS server will be cluster DC IP address, which is 192.168.110. Okay, if we set this IP and now if we add the mission, it will add. Okay, I think we need to give .local. Okay, now this mission is added to the domain. We need to restart this mission. So do the same thing for the node 2. Go to the node 2, first let's create the IP address. Okay, this is our private IP address. We will set the private IP address, and we are setting the private address for the node 2. For the node 2, the private address that we have assigned is 2.12. For the node 1, it will be 2.11. So let us go here, maximize this window. .12 for the node 2. Okay, we have given the IP address, static IP address for this node 2. Now we need to add this node 2 to the domain. So right click on computer, properties, change settings, our domain is metamanager.local. Okay, now the node 2 has been joined. Let's go ahead and restart the node 2. Let us go and see the node 1. If it okay, the node 1 is up. Okay, we will go and ping the node 1 from cluster DC mission. Okay, the node 1 is up and running. How about okay, it is pinging the local host. Now let's go and ping the node 2. Okay, the node 2 is up and running now. Okay, so the cluster DC can ping node 1 and node 2. We'll do the same thing from node 1. Let us go and ping the servers here. Okay, it can ping 110. That is fine. Oh, sorry, we need to ping 112, which is node 2. Okay, we can ping node 2 from node 1. Okay, we need to give the private IP. We forgot to do that in the last step. Let us go and assign the private IP address. I think 192.168.2.11 for node 1. Right click, properties, double click on IPv4. Okay, so now we have assigned the IP address for the private network so that node 1 and node 2 can talk. If you forget to add the network adapters, still you can go here, click settings, you can go and add the network adapter, but we already added, so that is fine. Now we need to go and ping from node 2. to other machines on the domain. Okay, this machine can ping the domain. This is node 1. Okay, this is working fine. We need to create the shared disk. We can create the shared disk on any computer in the domain. So I will create the shared disk on the cluster DC machine, the domain controller. On this machine I will create the shared disk. Okay, for that I need to have the StarWind software on this machine installed. I need to create the ISKC targets on this mission.